all-in-one SEO pack. This is a plugin for WordPress. It's probably one of the most popular out there, if not the most popular WordPress plugin available. And I'm going to walk through, show you how to set it up, and we'll talk a little bit about why it is so powerful and why it's so popular. First thing I'm going to do is go down, and this has a little bit to do with SEO. It's not immediately related to all-in-one SEO, but we're going to check under Settings in our WordPress menu. I'm going to click on Permalinks. Probably the first thing I do when I set up any new site is I'll come in, and I've already done this one, I've already changed this, but by default your URL, which is the address that shows up in your web browser, by default WordPress makes it kind of this ugly, kind of nondescript list of characters and numbers. Well, that's not going to help you show up in any search engine rankings. It's just a way for categorizing posts, and it's a way for WordPress to organize each one of your pages and posts. So you're going to want to change that to something that's going to be a little more descriptive. And typically what I'll use is day and name, and you can see that's what I've got checked here. That's just going to take the name of your post. It's going to include it in that link. So that's really powerful. Again, you're going to have keywords in there, things like that, that are going to get picked up by your search engines. You could use month and name if you wanted to. Again, important thing being, hey, we've got name in that. The last thing you could use, you could set up a custom structure if you'd like. Again, you're going to want to make sure you've got that post name included. Then you want to click on Save Changes. Go ahead and save that if you need to. I've already got mine set up in this format, so I don't need to do that right now. Once you've saved it, we're going to go down to Settings once again and click on All-in-One SEO. And this is where we can go in, plug in all of the settings that are going to optimize your site for the search engines. I'm going to scroll down and click on Plug-in Status. We're going to enable it right away. Obviously, if it's not enabled, none of this information we're plugging in is going to show up. I'm just going to copy and paste some of these variables into these few sections. I'll talk a little bit about what's going on here. Home title, that's going to show up in your menu bar. You're going to want to make this descriptive as to what's on the site, not just use the site name. I could just call this Moving Iowa, but that doesn't really tell me too much. The key to search engine optimization is tell me something. Use descriptive words. So we're going to use Moving Iowa, separated with a colon right here, real estate, resources, recommendations, and radio. This site's about real estate, and it also happens to be a radio program, so they cover a few different bases there. They give you tips on how to buy and sell real estate. That's where I'm plugging in here my description, real estate information for buying or selling. You're going to want to keep your home, just your home field, all your characters in here to 60 characters. If you're going longer than that, some of the search engines are going to start clipping off and shortening your titles. And depending on whether that's appealing to you or not, I try to stay underneath 60 because I don't want my titles getting clipped off. Same thing with description. 160 characters is the limit on most of the search engines out there. You're going to want that to all appear. And what happens when somebody does a Google search, the result is going to show up, it's going to have the title, and right beneath that is your description. So you've kind of got two hooks here to get people out there. If you're looking for eyeballs to your site, you're going to want to catch them with these two bits of information. So make sure those are short, to the point, and packed with the information that your site's all about. You want to make sure it's relative. Again, when we talk about relative information, I'm going to talk about keywords. These are not going to be seen by anybody except the search engines, unless somebody's checking out the code within your site. But keep these relevant. Don't pad them with things that don't appear on your website. It's going to potentially hurt you down the road. We'll roll on down here. I'm going to leave these two checkboxes clicked. Rewrite titles. That's what we're going to look at down here in these few fields. And the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to take all these pipes, I'm going to replace those with a dash. This little upright I-shaped line divider, that's a pipe. I'm going to want to just go through here, replace all of those with a slightly more search engine friendly dash. So we're going to plug dashes in instead of the pipe, and that whole section then is really done. What's going on here? Post title format. This is just how your individual posts are going to be shown in your title bar on your website. So it's going to have the post title. It's cloudy out here today. So if I wrote a blog post that said it's a cloudy day, that's going to appear up at the top of my in my title bar on my browser, followed by my dash, then followed by the title of my blog, which is Moving Iowa: Real Estate Resources, Recommendations, and Radio. So we're plugging in this variable information. That's just how it's going to get presented. And this format that's set up here is again going to be search engine friendly. I'm going to make one more change down here. I'm going to click on SEO for custom post types. And we'll want to make sure, I'm going to hold shift, I'm going to select both of these items. We're going to make sure both of those are selected, and you can see that they're gray. And then right here, we've got that checked. So make sure that's checked, make sure both of these are gray, and that will allow you to, on each post or page that you create, add in some of this other custom information, again, that the search engines are going to love. You can put in a custom title, put in a description, and then you can also include your pertinent keywords. I'm going to leave the rest of this all the same, except I'm going to uncheck Use No Index for Archives. What that's going to do, that's going to stop the search engines from going back, digging through a lot of older content on your site that may cause some confusion later on. These are just a few of the things right there to get you up and running with all-in-one SEO, so that you can begin now posting and publishing content to your site that's going to get seen by the search engines. I'm going to click Update, and I'll be all set. All-in-one SEO options updated. Have fun.